Can you see my live, PB?
On Instagram?
Mm-hmm.
Not yet.
All right, so it's out on Twitter now.
Yeah, I see it on Twitter.
You just don't see it on IG yet?
No.
Hang on 1 second, PB.
Yo, when's our podcast coming out, by the way?
It's actually uploading right now.
Oh, but let me know when it's out. I'll put it out.
Yeah.
All right, we're setting it up now, PB, so you'll be able to
All
join.
right, bet. Here, I'll comment on your Twitter post.
Ready though?
Yeah, I think we're already live. So for everyone watching, we're gonna get started here in a few minutes. Just we're having some technical difficulties.
I think you might have. Oh, this is.
Are you having trouble bringing Gus up?
No, I just have to go live on IG first, and then he should be able to join.
Oh, okay. You can just do it on your phone. It doesn't really matter.
He's ready though?
Yeah. So
There's a little delay there.
yeah, we should be live on IG here like any second, PB.
All right.
Nope. That was.
We just need to get Gus on here.
Bet. I'm excited. Let's go.
All right. I don't have any requests from Gus yet.
Or are you live on Instagram? Let me see.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll join up.
All right. I don't have any requests from Gus yet.
Or are you live on Instagram? Let me see. For some reason, it's like not. Maybe like ask me to request.
Let me see if I can. I don't know if I can actually request you.
Yeah, for some reason, I think your requests are off.
We might have to end it and just go on the phone.
I'm just saying for Instagram. Yeah, I think for the Instagram, just go on your phone, bro. It's gonna be easier.
Yeah, on Instagram Live. I think we should do it with our phones for Instagram Live.
Yeah, I don't think this. Yeah, because I can't get you guys up here. Hang on a second.
Yeah, we'll figure it out eventually. We'll figure it out. It's a cool idea, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, but they can't join the Instagram Live. That's the problem.
I'm just setting up here. Hang on a second.
Okay, yeah, I'll go on my phone.
All right, bet. Yo, everyone mute their phones too, because like we're gonna be getting delayed audio on everyone's end.
Yeah, let's do it our phones.
I'll go on my phone. Here. All right, I'm on live on my phone. We still got everyone on Twitter on the StreamYard.
Sick, yeah. Just
let me invite you guys
on the StreamYard. Let me hold up. Yo, it's good.
Yo, what's good? What's good, y'all?
What's good, guys?
You guys ready to get this? It's good right here.
Is the Instagram audio cool? Good?
Yeah, audio's good.
I can hear you guys. All right, bad. Everyone just mute their phone so that we don't. By the way, for everyone in the audience, we're also live on Twitter, so that's why we're like this.
All right, cool. You guys ready to do some charting?
Yeah, everyone mute their things.
All right, what are you guys looking at going in tomorrow?
We'll let PB take the stage. PB, what you
Okay.
looking at?
So going into tomorrow, I'm looking at a few names. Number one, IWM. IWM's a super clean setup in my opinion. So look, we have these 3 candles all right next to each other. It's very simple. We're gonna wait for a range break and we have P3 tomorrow. So I'm kind of expecting a pretty big gap up or gap down. So based on that, however we break the range, either to the upside or to the downside, I'm just planning on trading the retest of the level. So let me show you guys. By the way, Strat, there's a little echo, I think. Let me show you guys. What up?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I got you. Wait, my sound's off. Oh, let me just mute it. Yeah, I'm gonna mute myself.
So, check this out, guys. Check this out.
There we go. That's good.
We have this range right here, right? All I'm going to be watching for is a break out of this range to the downside, then a retest. So if we break to the downside, I'll watch for a retest of 194 and short this down to the gap fill right here. Or if we break to the upside, I'll be watching for the 198 retest up to 200. The next setup I'll be watching is Tesla. So something about Tesla is if you want to make money trading Tesla, it's super like you have to understand this one concept. It trades from level to level, from psych to psych. So when I say psych level, what do I mean? Go to all the numbers with zeros. So 190, 180, 170, 160. Go on Tesla today, for example. We wicked it from 193 for like 1 second, went right down to 190. We went under 190, we went right down to the next key psych level, 180. So from 190 to 180. On Tesla, all you have to do is mark down those key psych levels and trade it level to level. So what I'll be watching for is this is how I like to trade the post-earnings setups, gap downs. The post-earnings gap downs, what I like to do is I mark the high of the candle and the low of the candle. If we break into the gap, I'll trade the retest of the resistance. This resistance will become a support, and I'll buy longs here for a potential gap fill target. If we break to the bottom of this psych level, I'll trade the 180 break to the downside, but I'll wait for the retest. So like this. This is all I trade, guys. I never trade the break. What I'll wait for is that. This is my entry right here. Boom. And if we go over this line, I get out. It's that simple. So that's Tesla I'm watching, that retest. And I'm watching that IWM potential range break. Next. Yo, by the way, Strat, bro, that ULTA setup is clean. It's so clean, bro. I was checking it out. I'm going to let you go over that one, but man, that setup's really clean. Also, show you guys this real quick. The only thing with going into tomorrow, guys, it's going to be very volatile in the morning. So, like, for all the swings and stuff like that, there's really, like, no telling. We're either going to have a big, huge gap up or a huge gap down. I'm not going to be looking to play the gap, but instead I'm going to be looking to play the trend. So, if we have a huge gap up tomorrow, I'll be waiting for a retest, right? Everything's going to be green. I'm not going to try and bet it's going to go down. I'm going to trade the retest. So look at Google, guys. We're at basically all-time. Yeah, we're at all-time highs on Google right now. So what I'll be watching for is a 150 key level retest. If we can get a 150 retest on level to psych level at all-time highs, then I like that. It's an all-time high. We have clearest skies on Google. So there's 3 setups I'm watching, and I have a few more, but I don't want to take it all up.
You can go through. If you got any more, you can check them out too, PB. It's up to you.
What's up?
If you want to look at a few more, you can.
All right, I'll go over one more. I'll go over one more. Look at Snow, guys. SNOW. Hold on. So I traded this setup the other day. I had a snow day, so I was like, screw it. It's a snow day, and the setup on snow looks sick. And I actually made a ton of money on snow on a snow day. So let me show you guys kind of the setup I traded and now what I'll be watching for intraday. So look. Right off the open, we dipped, right? This is the pre-market high. I mark my pre-market high, we break a structure to the upside, then we get a retest, right? We got a retest of this right here, traded long all the way up to new high of day. But let's go to my indicators, right? All this was is a VWAP tap. VWAP tap up. So what I'll be watching for, let's go to the Snow Daily. Look at the Snow Daily, right? We broke out of this flag. It's a weekly flag, actually, not a daily flag, so I probably shouldn't be in the daily time frame. But we broke out of this flag, as we can see, consolidation after a move up. Everyone's like, yo, what's a flag? A flag is literally just consolidation after a move up. This is a bull flag. Move up, consolidation, breakout. So now what I'll be watching for is for us to get a pre-market high and pre-market low tomorrow. If the PCE is good, I'll be watching for us to potentially get a break of structure to the upside above 212. And if we get above 212 on Snow, I think this is going to have an absolute monster day. And I'll be watching for all retests. So I'm potentially watching Snow long if tomorrow's a good day. But yeah, those are 4 setups for me.
All right, Gus, what do you got?
My mic was on mute. So I'm actually with PV on IWM, so I just like the setup. So like, I'm gonna show you guys a visual like setting, right? Like me and Strat went over it the other day, but it's kind of like, you know, I'm looking for like latches, right? Markets are all-time high. We obviously caught the dip. Remember PV when I was telling everybody to buy at 108?
Oh yeah, I remember, bro.
Like it's like a year and a half ago. So, you know, when you're looking at exchange traded funds and you're looking at the 6-month performance, right? You're looking at there's relative strength, right? In every other sector here in the US, right? Large caps and regular mid caps relatively positive, but then smaller caps come here and they're relatively, you know, flat, right? So obviously with smaller caps, I'm repeating on this. Even if you look at this 1-hour chart, you see if we hold this here versus the 194% area, this still has a lot of room to the upside. So now, this one I do trading with futures on the RTY. It's going to become very volatile if we do break this area here, which is the 198.59 area. Once we start to face here in a 1-hour time frame, you know, this is my breakout point, right? Price target comes up this 202.28 area. So again, it's this first move and how you capitalize on that first move. So I'm betting on Rivian here. I'm buying some March calls on Rivian, $20 calls. So those look pretty good here. I know a few of you guys mentioned Tesla. Right here with Tesla, here, go ahead. My bad, I screwed my laptop. So Tesla, I think Tesla has room for 180. That's I was actually at swung calls, but it's like this 180 level is a really big area. If we can hold this for tomorrow, I'm personally gonna start leaps here. So again, the 4-hour time frame here, right? You can see that Tesla broke out of this uptrend on this daily time frame. You can see it here on the daily time frame, right? You can see that it made an impressive gap down, right? So now what is the area? So now if we can get back above 193.21, it definitely has a gap back to the low, 2.84. So again, Tesla, I am looking on it I'm going to look at the 220 calls for the summer. I'm going to see if this is a good area. I currently have 7,800 shares in Tesla at an average of like 222. So again, I'm going to be looking to add more to these.
Gus, if Tesla goes under 180, what's the next spot for you?
If it goes to 180,
under 180,
right here, 150.59. So I want the structure of this graph to create like this double bottom pattern, right? So you can draw your trend line here on the daily time frame, right? And this is my ultimate lead pattern, right? This is where I'll be looking at these. I look at the structure of the chart, right? I look at how the structure of the chart looks. So how I want the structure, like on daily time frames, I want to create a double bottom, right? And once we create this double bottom, we'll see if bids come in here, and we'll be able to bounce out of this area.
got you.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty interesting. I like these ranges in the market. These ranges are fun. In a day trader perspective, these ranges are very volatile, and you don't even need to be right. Like you need to be right on terms of your trades, right? But you can do calls or puts, and you'll make money in the current market. You You just have to find an edge that works for you.
For sure.
What about some strat?
Yeah. So, all right, let me share my screen, guys. Show you what I'm looking at. Let me share here for you guys on Twitter too. All right. So the first setup, you guys know what I like to look at, right? I'm always looking at larger time frame consolidation setups. So first name here is going to be SPY. We have PCE tomorrow morning. And so what I'm going to be looking at is what is the PCE print tomorrow? I think it's going to affect a lot of names like it'll affect Snow, like PB was talking about. It's going to affect IWM. But mainly I'm looking at SPY here because we're in an hourly consolidation pattern. We've seen consolidation patterns play out before. A consolidation pattern like this typically leads to a move up or a move down. It doesn't matter which way we move. I'm just looking for a move outside of this. So today we actually had the one trade I took today in Alpine. It was here on Alta, right? So we had the very, very similar pattern here, except this is a daily time frame. We've been consolidating on the daily on Alta. The weekly has a big bull flag, and we took these 500 calls 170% in about 15 minutes, and then by the end of the day, they were at 220%. So looking to see what they open up at tomorrow morning. If we continue to gap up, but very, very easy trade, very simple trade here. As soon as we broke that consolidation pattern, you can see here, I used the 9, the 21, and the 200 EMA. So when we got over the consolidation pattern, we pulled back into the 9 EMA. This move right here resulted in 170% in about 20 minutes. And then this move here at the end of the day was about 220%. So Alta, we go back to the weekly time frame, right? We can see here, if I turn my EMAs off, we can see this big weekly bull flag pattern. And I think Alta is going to see a nice move to about 550 very, very quickly. So anyone looking to add anything long-term, equity shares into an IRA or anything like that, I think Alta is about to make a really big move to the upside to, 550, 560, and then eventually potentially, 600 or so. So that's Alta. And then the next name is going to be Snow. PB already talked about this one. But if I go to the daily time frame on Snow, we've got an inside bar here. I think if Snow can break, kind of this 210 area, I think we'll see a really nice move to yesterday's high on Snow, and then we'll continue to print. Again, all of it's going to be determined on what PCE does. So if PCE comes in cool, under expectations, I think we'll see a really nice move up on the markets. And so that leads me to my last two names. First one's going to be Disney. Disney's got we're consolidating on Disney as well. The nice thing about Disney is we just broke out on the close. We broke 94.86, 94.80 was my key level here. If we can break 95 tomorrow on Disney, I think we're going to see a really, really big move up on Disney over 96.20 and potentially back into that 100 spot. So again, another name that I think if we get this move over 95, anyone that's interested in getting long into Disney, whether it's, month, 2 month out call options or equity shares into an IRA or long-term retirement account, I think Disney's going to have a really, really good risk to reward to get long in that. So Disney is big for me. And then the last name I'm looking at is IWM, right? Small caps. We've seen a really nice move on these. However, we haven't seen the strength on these like we've seen in the tech sector, the NASDAQ, SPY, things like that. So we are consolidating on IWM. If we go to the 1 hour time frame, and if I turn off my extended hours, you're going to see a consolidation pattern setting up here on IWM, right? So we've got consolidation here on IWM. We've got a daily downtrend line, and then we've got this uptrend here from the bottom, right? So again, price consolidation leads to range expansion. So I'm looking for a big move over 197 or a move back to 200. Or if we lose this consolidation pattern, I'll look for a drop back down. First spot would be 192. Second spot would be down here at the 186 level is what I'd be looking at. So that's IWM. And then the dark horse candidate, guys, that I'm looking at going into tomorrow and really next week is XLE, right? So the energy sector. So anytime, and you can see here on the 1 hour, we're pushing up into a daily resistance. But the XLE chart, we put in a hammer candle down here at 78.98, and you've just seen we've just been straight vertical since then. XLE is what I like to look at when I'm looking at energy sector. And specifically when I look at XLE, I look at three names. I look at Chevron, which is CVX. I look at XOM, which is Exxon. And then I look at Oxy, OXY. So when we look at a name like XOM, right? XOM on the daily time frame, again, put in some nice hammer candles, and we've just seen straight buying pressure all week long. Tomorrow, we could see a really, really nice mover back into the 104, 105 area on XOM. So buying pressure definitely is coming in on the oil and energy names. So that's what I'll be looking at going into tomorrow. The other dark horse candidate potentially could be UPST. UPST, you guys can see on the daily time frame here, we haven't been able to get over this 37.20 level. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4 rejections at this level going back to the beginning of the year. If we get over this level, you can see what we did last time. I'm a big proponent in believing that history tends to repeat itself. And if buyers do one thing and sellers do one thing in the past, it's probably indicative that they'll do something very similar in the future. So if we can get up over 37.20, I'm not saying we're going to have another day like this where we go up 20% in a day. But I do think we'll see a really big move over 37.20 on UPST, especially if PCE comes in lower than expected. So that's what I'm going to be watching.
Yeah, I like those setups a lot. And I actually think that something I'll be watching super, super closely into the next few weeks is also like a pretty big sector rotation into those oil names. So even like few week out, not even like day trading type swings could work on those oil names. Also, DWAC is very, very interesting to me, and I've actually been trading it. I've made a few $1,000s on it over the last few days, and man, this trader is really, really nice. And obviously, I'm not going to say go put your life savings into DWAC, but when it gets squeezy, it gets squeezy. So this is definitely a name to keep on your watch. I think if we get like a $30 level retest, it could get another pop. I don't think this one's done yet. I really, really don't. So DWAC is another name I have on my watch. And obviously, this is like a total lotto gamble. It can go to zero. I don't have any of it, but it is a scan that I have, and I have alerts set. So I'm not going to miss it, but at the same time, I'm not going to hawk DWAC. I'm not going to hawk a lotto and wait for it to potentially squeeze. What I'm going to do is set my alerts, and if my alerts hit, then I'll keep an eye on it. Maybe I'll slap some lottos. But the contracts move really, really, really good on DWAC for some reason. I don't know why. Like, they've really been propping it up lately. So I caught it 2 days ago for 100%. Then I caught it for 50% the day before. And obviously could have gotten way more, but really, really like DWAC. And I think that it could potentially be a little squeezer name to have on your watch if you know how to trade it.
Yeah. DWAC has that thing has exploded since a breakout a few days ago. Last week, over that 18 level, we went all the way to 58. So that was a huge move.
Yeah, funny story. One of my first ever like really, really big trades, it was Foon. I'm not sure if you guys remember the day of. Like, one of my buddies texted me, watch Foon. So what I did is I had this small account. I had a small account, right? At 4 a.m. I bought like $3,000 or $4,000 worth of Fune, and I turned it into like $14,000 and I went back to sleep. I wake up, it's worth like $14,000. It's just pretty crazy. One of my huge small accounts.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was sick.
Yeah. So PB, one question I have for you now that we've gone through some of these setups. You know, when you and I were on the podcast, the last week I think we recorded it. One of the things you mentioned was like dealing with the negativity, and I'm sure Gus deals with it too. But like, I think it comes with the space. But I don't think Gus and I have had like the negativity that you've had being a young day trader who's still in high school. Like, what can you like talk about that a little bit more?
P&L multiple times, like, he's literally a kid making $1,000 a day. Like, that's a flex. I don't care what you say. Like, it's extraordinary.
Thank you. I mean,
always hold your head up, like, bro, you driving an AMG, man.
yeah, you see that video I posted. But anyways, like, as far as the hate, honestly, it doesn't really bother me anymore. Like, there was times where it definitely used to bother me a little bit because, bro, I viewed myself as literally, like, I mean, I don't view myself. I am just a kid, and I was setting like thousands and thousands of hate comments. Like, I posted a video last month, bro, literally has like 1,000 hate comments. But what I've actually learned is that I honestly don't even view it anymore because you'll never ever meet a hater doing better than you in life. So the moment they stop hating is the moment you have to start worrying. They hate you because they ain't you. They hate you because the truth is they want to be you so bad, but they can't. So they want to change the way people view you. But it's all envy, and they would do anything to switch places with you. So
Not only that, maybe, but also, most people that hate, they try to do what you're doing, and they weren't successful at it.
exactly. And I think that shouldn't be something to hate on. That should be something to embrace on. That should be something to motivate. If a 16-year-old kid can do it, if a 16-year-old kid can beat the 99% odds, then you could too. Someone said, I am PB's jelly. He's my peanut butter.
Exactly. Yeah. But
Yeah, that's
so for ODT. So I mean, we all got snow on lock. So usually, like whenever you guys are having a hard time picking ODT, this is what really options is, right? I'm gonna put it in perspective in a heat map setting here, right? So now you do the 1 week performance, right? You do the past week performance, right? And this is a visual of what this is a Thursday, right? This is a visual of what the stock market is on the S&P 500, right? So you obviously see that there's relative strength on Microsoft on the week, there's relative strength on Apple on the week, there's relative strength on Nvidia, relative strength on AMD, which we didn't know this week, right? Google, Meta, Amazon, and now Tesla's week, right? So obviously you look at this and you're like, okay, cool. Well, healthcare looks a little flat, right? UNH kind of pulled back. Okay, energy, Strat mentioned, looks pretty strong, right? So now, one of the things that I kind of started doing is in my pre-market prep, I kind of see what stocks are the most liquid in pre-market, right? Because usually pre-market is an extension of what the actual markets are going to be, right? Because you're getting actual bids and asks. So when you're looking for relative strength and relative weakness, especially trading for ODT days, you're looking for strength or weakness, right? Because you get caught up in chop, that's it. Forget about it. Your premiums are burnt. That's why we called it Degen Thursday night. It's a Degen Thursday night because we're gonna pick our shot, right? And it could pay to know this information.
sorry. Someone said Stradio tour, so I was like, yeah, I'll give you a little tour of the studio. What'd you say, Gus?
So someone said PB paying his teachers to I don't blame you, PB.
Bro, I'm not even lying. All my teachers kind of know what I do, and I swear some of them have asked me to teach them how to trade. But I just tell them to my Discord, bro.
The teachers?
Yeah, I swear. They literally have asked me, can you teach me how to trade, PB? We see your videos and well, I'm not gonna lie. One time I wasn't doing the best in the class, and I told them, but no, I'm just kidding, guys. But yeah, bro, it's cool actually. My teachers wanting, but there's also been time where one of my teachers didn't really like me, and then randomly, I don't know why, I'm literally just in class, I'm on my phone, and he literally said this word for word. He said, and just so you guys know, you can never ever make money long term in the stock market day trading. That's a scam. The only way to make money is to put your money in a savings account. And everyone started looking at me, and I just started laughing. And that same day, I made $5K. So I'm like, okay, I don't really care what you think.
No, yeah, no. Well, that's one of the things that to motivate a lot of guys. That trading is a skill set that you could be. The reason why a lot of people fail too is because they overtrade, right? They think that they spotted an opportunity when in reality they probably didn't, right? Because most people just slip around. I see people, Microsoft calls, Apple calls, Amazon calls, but they have no real reasoning behind their trades, right? And that's why most people fail, because they're uneducated on the subject.
Bro,
and for myself, I'm a futures trader. So right now with the IWM, I'm actually trading the RTY. It's a small cap. I kind of nailed October lows on that. But I use futures to kind of it's harder said than done, right? But I kind of like bottom ticking, right?
Yeah.
Because you're utilizing the leverage to be able to maximize, right? That there's no DK as in options.
For sure. IWM was my second most profitable ticker last year. It was IWM and Tesla. But to your point on, being a successful trader and over trading, the most successful trader that I personally know probably trades 3 or 4 times a month. I'm not even lying. He literally he watches the market every single day, but he only takes such selective trades because he doesn't want to get stuck. He's so selective with his trades, and he only trades on those A+ setups. And those A+ days where he knows there's going to be a trend day, he knows there's going to be a good setup, are the days that he makes his whole month. So it's like the less trades are truly better. When they say less trades equals more profits, it's not a lie. It truly is true.
Yeah. You know how many trades I took today, PB?
How many?
I took one for 220% on Alta. That was it.
Hey, that'll work.
So like I didn't, you know what I mean? I didn't try to do too much. We talked about that on Spaces today, actually. I think there's like a new traders that are like trying to find their footing and trying to find profitability. A lot of them can't do it for two reasons. Number one is that they strategy hop. Today they're a supply and demand trader. Tomorrow they're a earnings trader. The next day they're a trend trader. But the second reason why, in my opinion, is because they just overtrade. They get into less than A+ setups because they feel like they always have to be into something.
And that's the dumbest thing. That truly is the dumbest thing because, bro, there is so many opportunities in this market, but I think that's what people like overthink. Like for me personally, I like hitting one or two trades and getting off with my day. Like I like getting off the market. I like going and doing something else. I see so many people are trying to catch top and bottom of every single move. But the truth is the chunks and adding up the chunks of the move based on your strategy is what's going to pay off in the long term. So for everyone out there, stop trying to catch every single move and moves that don't fit your strategy. I trade the same setup every single day. And if I don't see that setup, then I don't trade it. And it's that simple. Only trade your setup and stop trying to catch every single move because, oh, it's going to bounce here. Oh, you think it's going to bounce here. No, trade your setup and that's it. That's how you'll make money in the long run.
Yep, and I think someone said that in the comment section. Bulls and bears make money while pigs get slaughtered, right? So that's facts, right? Like obviously even in current market, right? You really identify your zones, right? It's not relatively hard to kind of catch the natural trend of the chart, right? What's hard is like when we stop, when we slow down, like right here, when we consolidate. This is hard. This is where people get wrecked. So where people get wrecked is where we start to consolidate a strike price when the market cools down. But during this phase, this is where everybody's shouting, "Oh, I just made money! I just made money!" Or this, like reversal here, "I made money! I made money!" But what happens when the market slows down is when people burn their portfolios. That's why I always put it in this perspective, right? I'll put it in the 4-hour chart. This is on the IWM, right? But it applies to anything. On the IWM, the best zone to be involved to avoid consolidation is above 198.58. Because the thing is, you can still see clear consolidation, right? So calls above this zone is the best. So now, like a lot of traders like, oh yeah, but it happens too fast. We break out too fast. Well then, trade the retest. Define your strategy. Say we break out, we come back and we retest this area. Buy that dip, but you're buying that dip when the market's actually, it's actual, right? Like, when the markets are actual and you're seeing that buyers are actually stepping in, and that's where you buy the dip and you can potentially take this to the upside, right? So you come back down and then, what happens is that, you bounce out of that zone, right? Sorry, my lines are so I'm a mouse, but yeah, but you guys get the picture. So again, it's always very important to define your levels.
Retest trading is key, bro. Retest trading is all I do. Don't trade the breakout, trade the retest. It's going to give you a better edge. It's going to give you better risk reward. And it's overall going to give you more conviction in your trade because you're taking a higher quality trade. Like if you're trading the breakout, it can wick on you easily. But by trading the retest, you already have confirmation of the breakout. So it's so much of a higher quality play. I only trade the retest. I don't trade breakouts or breakdowns.
Like this was a breakout that, this chart, like, healthy wise, we broke out of this zone, but I'm still expecting a pullback to 4827. I'm patient here. Like, well, everybody, everybody's like dipping, their toes here, calls, buying equities. Everyone's following blindly. I'm like, no, I'm going to be long when the ES, this is the S&P 500, right? The futures. When the ES comes down and pulls back to this zone, I'm going to make a decision at 4827 if I end up buying on this retest. We might not get it. It might be, but to me, this is an unhealthy chart. I need it to come back down. So it's like, you know, like this, to me, it's unhealthy. And to me, it's not worth trading with leverage just yet. I'd rather trade down here, see what the actual bids are when we're coming down here, and then I'll make my decision.
Yeah, I agree with that. Retest is like, that's the way to go. Because what happens is like the profitable traders wait for the retest. The unprofitable traders buy the breakout.
And then they stop out.
And then they stop out and sell their contracts
on the retest.
To the profitable traders.
So
all of you guys that aren't making money trying to trade a breakout, you're stopping out and selling me and PB all your contracts.
Exactly. And that's one thing to always, you know, to realize that you have to be able to define an edge, right? And when you define your edge, it's like, you know, what type of trader am I? Am I a momentum trader? Am I a retest trader? You know what? I don't really like what you guys are doing. You know, I'm going to just start selling premiums here. Some people, you know, like I know people that I personally told, like, bro, you got no business trading leverage. Stick with equity, right? Because they make such impulsive decision with the leverage. You know, and that's always very important to map out and categorize that, you know, what am I going to utilize the leverage, especially when we have expanding markets like this. Like, I like to put it in perspective is that, you know, like, hey, look, like we got a healthy chart that broke out from all-time high, right? But we need to retest back to this area in order for this to be a very lucrative move for me to be able to fill smart money, because smart money buys down here, right? And I call it smart money because I when I'm looking at the tape, I'm looking at the amount of buyers and the amount of sellers that are being engaged either at a certain bid or at a certain ask. And that's how you utilize options. Because the thing is you're trading a game that's based off supply and demand, and you're measuring the volume. And it's like a ruler, right? You're measuring the move with your expiration date, especially with options. Equities is a little easier, right? And you know, in equities, I'm actually in AI. I'm right now like a little bullish. I'm just looking to see if we're gonna come back to this level on the ES. So on the ES, like I mentioned, I'm watching this 4830 area, right? And this 4830 area, I'm looking to get into AI. What I'm looking to get into is SOUN. Although the short flow here is 12%, right? I'm seeing if C3 AI will start to cover these 38%. Just has a high short flow. So these naturally start to squeeze, right? These type of stocks start to squeeze because the thing is that shorts start to cover their positions, right? So like let's do the chart, right? So C3 AI. And the thing is, I'm playing SOUN just because, you know, I like that stock. And again, that's just what I'm in, right? Well, I have like $1.60 average. But if you see C3 AI, in order for the shorts to be squeezed, we need a clear break above $29, right? But you can start some early entries at 27.24. But this area in between is where a lot of people are going to start to get burned, right? This area in between, when it starts to make the jump, this area is where it starts. Like, you know, this is the big decision area. This gap right here. So again, above 27.31, you could try it. More than likely, we're going to reject this zone. But I could come above 29.23. You guys are going to start seeing shorts start to get to this area.
All right, so what's the trade tomorrow at open, Gus? Snow?
I'm gonna continue with IWM. I've been having fun with IWM. I'll probably trade Rivian too. I like I like the ranges of Rivian trades. Let's see. I'm expecting like a breakout. I did some AMD puts today. I made like 22% or something like that on the. But IWM, I have some swings to see how they play out.
Did you swing those AMD puts?
No, I didn't.
Oh man, you see it after hours?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, because the INTC didn't have good earnings.
Yeah, I know. No, well, the thing is, I had 180 puts, but I covered most of them like around like here. And the thing is that the SOXS gave me all the information I needed. So this is part of what I do. I do confluence trading. And when I do confluence trading, I'm like looking at the semiconductor bear index, right? And the reason why I look at this is because I'm watching to see if it's gonna hold its opening zone, right? This is more prone. If this goes up, semiconductors go down. So now what's happening here is that because the semiconductor bear index is betting against semiconductors, I'm understanding how liquid is it at the time of open, right? So now I'm looking at this opening range, and that's what was, this break off VWAP. This is what made me trigger the shorts. But I just took a 22% gain because there were still active buyers trying to preserve this, and I didn't want to risk on these. I didn't really want to risk.
It's all good.
Yeah. What about you guys? What else are you guys looking for?
I mean, I honestly think if PCE comes in cooler than expected, we could see like a 5 or 6% day on IWM tomorrow.
On a 5 or 6% day.
Yeah, like I think it could be a face ripper.
On IWM?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I personally think so too.
Yeah,
I think,
especially with 0 DTE.
0 DTE. I got some one here. I got
Bro, the only problem is that so many people are on it.
They've been a little quiet. I think this consolidation burnt them. Like I saw them more on it at the beginning of the week. I think a lot of longs got trapped up here. So again,
Yeah,
let's see what
potentially.
happens.
Someone asked if we could take a look at Amazon.
So a lot of longs got trapped above this Monday high here, and we retraced this area. IWM wrecked me. What was your strike price on IWM?
Bro, it's done the same thing the last 3 days in a row. A gap up and then just go right down into the end of the day and gap right back up. But it's gonna break out of this range soon.
No, once we break out, I'm loving it. And then you're gonna start seeing stocks like PLTR. You're gonna see stocks like Rivian. You're gonna see all those type of stocks are ripping too.
Yeah.
But this is the daily time frame. Like look how much we've consolidated in these areas for some time.
I think we're gonna fill the gap on IWM and then we're gonna rip.
You think? Yeah. What was your price target?
Literally, it's such a small gap. It's to 193. Like I kind of feel like a little wick and then in, but I don't know. You never know. Or we're just gonna break out of this range tomorrow with PCE.
Got it. Yeah, we'll take tomorrow how it reports. I mean, I'm excited for this one. I haven't been excited for stuff. This chart is dipping up. I took some size off when I saw that first pullback. Again, my size in area is going to be above that 198 area, 198 area I mentioned. If we can break that area clean, I feel that this has room. This is the 4-hour time frame, just to give you guys a perspective of this chart, right? Kind of found the bottom, but there's still a top here at this upper area of 205.44, which in December 2023 we retested this area. But buyers are very active.
For sure.
Yeah, I think Alta might squeeze tomorrow.
Do they have any chart requests? Does anyone have any chart requests? Let's do some chart requests.
Yeah, that'll be good. Chart requests.
Any chart requests? Amazon. All right, let's go ahead and let's get Amazon going. So I'll start it off. You guys could jump into the next one. So with Amazon, right? As you can see here, this 4-hour time frame. Let's actually do a daily time frame. So here with Amazon here, this daily time frame, as you can see here we have a hard area here at this 170.83 area. So it's like in between, right? Like you gotta ask yourself, is it worth it? Like doing the premature longs here, or is there a better setup to this one, right? Obviously, intraday this could be good, right? You can base yourself off this zone, but I like it to retest this 146.40 zone first. So I don't like trading these mid ranges. When we get from this hard resistance area, of trades that I'm just like, doesn't look as lucrative to me, right? Because obviously there's more risk here. I'd rather wait for a retest, or I'd rather wait for a breakout towards that higher range, especially when trading options. So we got QQQ. Let me go ahead and do QQ. I think PV's frozen. PV, you good?
Yeah, I'm good. So I just have to check something out. What's up? Want me to go over it?
Yeah. No, you're good. So it's QQ, right? Obviously broke out, right? And as you guys can see here, I'm awake for 408, right? 408 is ultimately a good area for me to buy. So ultimately, again, so right here was what we call price discovery mode. We broke all-time high, and the market is just making price discovery. I'd wait for this to build structure, right? And when I say structure, it's like more data to be able to, make decisions on this one. Usually when you're trading all-time high, you got this can keep ripping, but you gotta understand the stock market doesn't just go straight up. PLTR. So PLTR is actually one of my my long-term holdings. Here with PLTR, as you guys can see, kind of 16.46. I actually had like an average of $26 before that 2020 bull run, and ultimately 2021 I had like 26 I bought. And again, this went up to the 40, 45, all-time high. Obviously, we broke out of this channel and we went lower. And obviously, I ended up buying shares. This is a stock that I'm buying shares, not stock options. I still needed to clear above 21.70 for this to look good. You want to try Netflix TV?
Sure. All right, Matt, let's do it.
I don't think I can plug it in without unplugging the camera.
Okay, so Netflix, guys. It's so funny because I still have the chart saved. I just did like a class of New Age, and this is what I'm looking at. So one second, let me just cover this. On Netflix, right? I see two possible scenarios. First things first. This is a post-earnings setup. On post-earnings setups, you want to mark the gap, right? And then you want to mark the low of the candle and high of the candle. So high of the candle marked, low of the candle marked. Now, this is our range. With this range, what we want to see is a potential range break to the upside or a range break to the downside. Personally, I like to see us consolidate in this range a little bit, get a bull flag above this gap, and then get a breakout and retest. This happens on Netflix a lot, and it just happened right here as well. We had a gap up on earnings. We consolidated over the gap, had a bull flag, and ripped. So what I'll be watching for is a potential consolidation over 537 in between 537 and 563, and then a break over 563 with a retest at 563, and this would be my entry for calls right here. That's my Netflix analysis, but I would like to see us consolidate over this gap. Yeah.
All right. Stripe, you want to do another ticker? You want to get here after more something that we're cooking.
How about cat, Strat? Someone said cat. I know you were talking about it earlier.
Yeah. I can do cat. All right, so let me show you guys here. All right, let me flip this around. All right, guys, so on cat, what I was looking at here was a breakout today over like the 297 level. I have my level set right here at like 296.63. But you can see what happens, right? When we have multiple rejections on a daily spot, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 rejections. We finally break out of that spot today. And you guys can see what happened on the 5-minute. Right, if I turn my extended on. Right, perfect right here. So perfect breakout. Came back down. Retested the 297 area as support now. Former resistance, multiple days. So cat looks good to continue upside. in my opinion. I don't know what the see real quick on the weekly. I think we're at all-time highs on cat. Yeah. So now we're just going into price exploration mode on the weekly time frame. So what I look for on price exploration mode is you can actually start to you can put fibs on, or you can start to look at whole psych dollar levels as areas of resistance. So that's cat. Someone else asked for Baba. Oh, and then there's a lot of Adobe. Let's look at Adobe. All right, I haven't looked at Adobe. Adobe looks like a potential bull flag on the hourly. But on the daily time frame, we've got room all the way up to 633. I just don't know if we're going to see a move up on tech tomorrow. We'll have to see if the market rips. But for me, like on a technical pattern, I don't see a lot that excites me on Adobe right now. We just had a nice move up today, and we kind of rejected 625 area. How can I have a feed like yours?
So ticker I saw like really popular this week was PayPal. Obviously, I saw a lot of people, talking about it this week. So, I'm curious. This is I'm actually, I was having this conversation with someone that, I'm actually watching this 78.80 area in which I'm looking to, watch this structure break, right? Obviously, stock charts, especially on higher time frames, it's a weekly time frame. This is stock that's gotten beaten down, right? To find the bottom here at 51.16, yeah, and a risk to reward perspective, if you're buying shares, this could be a good spot. For options, this is riskier. For options, you want to wait to break above this area, because the thing is there's more expansion, there's more liquidity above this area, right? Because obviously the company's in recovery stage, right? So that's my thoughts on PayPal. Another thing on the volatility index, though, is that the VIX, right? One thing I noted here in this 4-hour time frame, and the reason why, I was kind of like, trading relative laggers instead of mega caps, is because ultimately here in this 4-hour time frame, we're holding up this uptrend, right? The VIX comes back above this area, which is the 14.52. You're going to start to get aggressiveness. And whenever the VIX falls, the markets go up, right? And whenever the VIX goes up, the markets fall. It's the volatility index. So this is something that you should watch in the mornings, watch where it's at, pay attention to its key levels, and and trade what you see is being presented at yourself. I also know that PBXY is also phenomenal when getting this type of information. And again, it gives you kind of like, I trade on the basis of confluence trading, right? And when I'm doing confluence, I'm looking at what sectors are more relatively stronger, which sectors are more relatively weaker. And I'm trading options with them because the thing is we're trading leverage, right? And because we're trading leverage, it's like, with time, because, futures is leverage too, right? But with futures, there's no time. If you're trading options, there's time. So obviously you got to nail the move, right? Like you got to time that move to your strike price in a very efficient way. Also, being very aware of your implied volatility, being very, aware of, all that stuff, your Greeks and stuff. Well, really for short-term options, Delta wouldn't really, because obviously you're trying to time a certain move based on the volume, right? And the element of supply will definitely pay you.
For sure, guys. Do you guys have any more questions? Let us know. By the way, make sure you guys are following Strat, Gus, and myself. Top left corner. We're going to be doing these a lot more.
Yeah, make sure you guys turn your notifications on too, because we've got some cool stuff we're going to be doing. We're going to do these every week, and we're working on another in-person event for you guys.
I'm gonna try, bro. I'm gonna be in Miami April 2nd, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But
Hey, Drew the Wolf, why are you scared?
what's up?
Hey, Drew the Wolf is scared. Thus, I'm scared. Alright, so let me go ahead and get coin real quick. Meanwhile, Drew replies to us why he's scared. Are you leveraged or something? Is you doing calls, puts? So with Coinbase, obviously we have here on this 4-hour time frame, we have really solid support here at 118.75. If we break below that, it's puts. Another thing is that GBTC, I'm short on shares on it on GBTC. It's been paying relatively well, but I'm gonna see if I'm gonna cover. You know, I got my risk off area from 36.02. But GBTC definitely paid off big time. I made a tweet on this the other day, so I'm gonna be watching if we could break below 33.94. If we do break here, we start to see if we can find a little bit of the bottom. I'm gonna long tomorrow.
Somebody said, PB, are you still in school? Yes, I am still in school, but I'm a co-op student. So every single day I live trade from 9:45 to 11:30. And then I work from like 11:30 to 12. Like, let me tell you guys my schedule today. So like I got to school and then I did school, whatever, traded in school for 2 hours and worked. Got home from school, 3 o'clock, did spaces till 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock to 6:30. I had 3 back-to-back calls. And then I did a class with the Discord. And then I had a call with a content guy. And then I'm on IG Live. So it's been really nonstop lately, but I love it. It's time management. And today's my rest day in the gym, so I didn't hit the gym today.
So someone asked about Rivian. That's what's up, TV. And you know the grind is gonna really pay you off. Like, and we were talking about the haters earlier, right? You know how a lot of people they let you live trade at school, PB. So like, going back to the haters, right? Like, you know, like are your haters doing that much work, right? So that's why, you know, fuck your haters, bro. I bet you they are not outworking you. That's why they are hating on you, bro. So with Rivian, you know, this previous week low, I am watching this area, 15.14. I actually have some March $20 calls, but you know, the safest entry is going to be if we could reclaim that zone, which is our previous week low. Obviously, I saw some calls, which you know, I'm not expecting them to go crazy. I didn't see anything crazy. I got like an average on the $15 calls for like, you know, 0.20 or something like that. So again, I was able to buy today. So again, I'm going to be watching this to see if we can reclaim this zone. Even on equities is a good day trade for equities, right? The price target of this one for the upper, you know, $30 range. So again, maybe not now. Maybe the market could be, you know, the VIX could be telling us something. But you know, I'm not looking to chase on mega cap stuff like, you know, like that. You know, I'm not looking to chase on stuff like Tesla, Microsoft, Nvidia. I'm looking to chase on smaller caps because the thing is the smaller cap sector is lagging. So ultimately you see more opportunities and if the market's adding more liquidity, you see more opportunities on laggers, right? Obviously laggers could have relative weakness momentum built up here, but ultimately it's how you decide to trade that specific setup.
Risley, he asked about if I have a deal for my previous day, week, month, high-low indicator. My algorithm is free. You can just click the link in my bio in IG. Everything's free in the link in the bio. Opinion on Lucid? I don't even know what Lucid's trading at right now.
Bro, I think I saw the chart the other day. It's like damn, whatever invested in that company is like dying. Like look, check this one out. I haven't looked at it in some time. The last time I checked out was like this chart looks horrible. Check this out. Like these type of charts, I'm like has an investor ever made money in these type of charts, right? Like this is the weekly time frame, right? The IPO's here, right? We IPO'd here. We shot up to, you know, $64, and then we came down, crashing, currently $2.66. These are the type of stocks I usually stay away from. I usually wait for them to recover. You know, from a risk to reward perspective, it's better to get above 13.23, right? You know, because in a sense, you're taking a gamble between that zone to that zone. Because literally, I mean, you know, yeah, you know, a stock market is in a straight line, but it's like, you know, fundamentally, this stock looks like shit. An investor has never made money on this stock. Like, think about it. An investor has, I don't care how pretty their card is, an investor has never made money on this stock.
Which is really, really surprising because aren't they backed by oil money?
I think it's Saudi, the Saudis.
Yeah, it's so surprising because I'm so, like, why would they just keep dumping and dumping and dumping money into the stock?
Yeah, I agree. Any other questions, guys?
Any other questions? You guys got any other questions? Come on, guys, ask questions. You're here with, you know, professionals. We obviously all have the best interest and want you guys to, you know, really learn this stuff. And if you guys actually enjoyed this Instagram live, you guys got free gain from it, make sure you're following Strat, make sure you're following, someone said PB and Gus have the same firm. You know what I mean? PB first started going on Instagram live, they used to be like, yo, Gus, nice little brother.
That's funny.
That's funny. So
Hey, PB, make sure you don't wear any jewelry around me and Gus.
No, I'm gonna wear all my jewelry in front of you guys. I want it to be tested.
Yeah, we try to.
What happened at the club, Strat?
Yeah, we tried to test some guy's Cuban chain at the club, and he didn't want it. He was like, no. He wouldn't let us test it.
You guys can test all my stuff. We'll make a video.
Let's do it. All right. So for someone asking for C3AI, I wanted to go above $29. Obviously, you could take some early longs here at this area, right? Which is the 26 point, like we're at about 26.90. But it's like you're in this zone here, right? If we break that zone, this is my first price target. But what happens is that you might get caught up in consolidation. This is a very tight range. Like, this is a very small move, right? Especially with how the implied volatility trades on AI. So obviously, this is above this zone is my best zone. And I'm thinking that's gonna do something like this, right? So, you know, I usually like retest. Obviously, sometimes when we retest certain zones, right? You know, you come up and, you know, you come back down, help you turn and go up, right? So obviously, sometimes, you know, stock goes a little under it. So that's why, you know, I study the tape, right? And when I'm studying the tape, I'm watching the actual amount of bids that are coming in to see if we could pull through. Like, if, for example, if we come in and I see, you know, $29, you know, high amount of bids coming in at a certain volume, right? I'm watching to see how much can these bids can we take us to our first price target, right? So I'm like measuring the move. Where is that move going to get faded and we're going to get the retest? And that's where I reassess my whole strategy. Risk, I got a good one, Costco. All right, let's do Costco real quick. So let me go ahead and let's do Costco. So Costco, obviously this is a stock that, you know, long term, this is a good long term stock, right? Obviously we know Costco ain't going anywhere, but here in a perspective of stock, right? I want to see it pull back to 662.15. Ultimately, I have a big bounce on this. That's something I was watching early in pre-market today. Best advice for taking better entries based on candlesticks. Strat 1, 2. This is so Strat. What's your best advice for taking better entries based on the candlestick? Is it the 1, 2, 3 candles, high success plus stop sign?
Yeah, typically for me, I mean, I use candlestick analysis just to give myself a better entry. So, you know, like very simple, right? If I see a hammer candle and a downtrend, that's a nice entry for calls. And if I see a shooting star or a blow off top candle and an uptrend, that shows me that sellers are present and I'll look to potentially get short.
Okay, nice. Also, someone asked, can we have risk management discussions? So yeah, risk management is actually an important part. Like we obviously all have different type of risk management, right? Like obviously my risk management was very different 4 years ago. Even my risk management is very different, 5 years ago, 8 years ago, right? As you progress trading, your risk management obviously changes, right? As you get more education, as you get more knowledge of the stock market, you build new edges. A lot of people utilize leverage because, they can't day trade actual stocks, which is perfectly fine, but you gotta understand what you're really doing, right? Because obviously, it's safer to say that, hey, I can day trade, Costco at 662, put 662,000 and take this back up to 700,000, you just make 40,000, right? That's like someone's full-time, job. Obviously that's that person's risk reward with shares, right? Whereas another person's like, I'm gonna do 3K and $700 each, and it's just 50 that's gonna rip, and it's gonna take me to 10K, right? Now obviously we just made seven grand, or you can make it about 7 grand. You utilize leverage to make it. So if you utilize leverage to make it, you gotta be very meticulous towards your entry, meaning that you gotta be very spot on to what your target areas are. And I feel a lot of people don't have target areas. They get into A and D calls, and they're just hoping it just keeps going up. They have no real price targets. You have to define your price target 1, your price target 2, and even your price target 3. And risk management all starts there. Like define your risk management. Sometimes people leave runners when they have no business leaving runners, right? Like I see this often. Like someone gets into a trade with 3 contracts, leaves one as a runner, boom, lost all its gains because they have no sense of risk management, right? Like you made $200, but your positioning size is 600. You just stayed back and now you're negative on the day. So it's very important to define that, right? Like that, I see that's a common problem. They leave runners, they give back their gains, and they end up being negative because they have no understanding of position sizing. It's not a bad thing, right? It's not a bad thing. It's just that you have to really work on your position sizing. Whereas your runners could be like, for example, I'm in 5 contracts of SPY, right? $20 a pop, right? And I took 4, right? And I took my gains on those 4. And I took them from 20 to 40. So now, now that gives me the leeway to hold 1 contract that's worth $20. Now that's defined as a runner. Or a runner can also be that if you're okay with giving back those gains. You just made $1,500. That runner costed me $300. I'm okay with giving back $300 and that's $100. So I think risk management starts there.
Yeah, I think risk management, like obviously you touched every single point, but I think the main reason that some people don't kind of extend into their risk management is because they don't know how to hold their runners. When your 1 to 2 risk reward trade can turn into a 1 to 5 risk reward trade just by holding 1/3 of your position for runners. So I think holding runners is really, really key in kind of managing your losses, because think about it. Just by holding runners on 1 trade and catching 1 good runner can save you in like 4 more losses. So I think holding runners is really, really important to be able to exceed your risk reward, higher it, and have room for more air and still be making more.
Yeah, for me, everyone asks me like, hey, Strat, how do you get the 200, 300, 500, 1,000% trades? It's exactly what PB just said, right? I keep runners, but I make sure that I scale out aggressively on the way. So when you see me holding a trade 1,000%, that's not a full position size for me unless it's a news trade or something like that. Typically, I've scaled out the majority of my contracts, and like PB said, if you're going into a trade risking 10% to make 20%, if you can hold runners, all of a sudden you just risk 10% to potentially make 80%, 90% overall. So for me, risk management is more about what is my net, like my net P&L versus my like open P&L. Because I could have an open P&L of like 500% on like a position, but what is my overall percentage gain on that position, right? That's what I'm always looking for.
1,000%. 1,000%.
Nice. So someone said Disney, if they want Disney as well. So Disney got this little gap that it attempted to cover here. Ultimately, back in November, Never covered it. So again, to expect it, this is a stock I don't trade. This is a boomer stock. I don't like boomer stocks. I'm a trend spotter. I don't want to be in something that made someone a millionaire 20 years ago, right? 10 years ago. I focus on innovating things. It's not that Disney's not innovating and they're not doing a shit or not producing numbers, but to me this is something I personally have more. I personally have better. How should I put this? There's better probabilities in other stock charts, right? Ultimately, this is in a weekly time frame. It went up to 204. It's trading at $94, right? Ultimately, back in 09, this is something that traded $15. It's still a good extension for those people who bought in 09, but we're still trading in this bottom edge, right? So ultimately, this to me would be a good buy. This will go back to the $49, $50 zone. Here at DB, if we do recover this area and trade it above 144, yeah, we're gonna start getting expanding markets, and we're gonna see even better opportunities, right? One of you guys want?
Yo, you're cutting out, Gus. What'd you say?
You guys want to do IWM?
As far as like charting it out again?
Yeah, IWM. You guys want to do IWM?
Yeah, it's cool, whatever.
Yeah. You guys want to do IWM? Now it's like a, right? So with IWM, we've been spotting here this weekly. This is a weekly time frame, by the way, right? See how it's like a pulse, right? See how this, right? So you can see here, this weekly time frame, we have a pretty solid uptrend. But people, you want to give your levels on IWM?
Yeah, I got you. Sorry, for some reason I dropped off. Let me pull it up real quick. My IWM levels are 198.70, 200, obviously, that 200 psych level. And then I have 202 and then 205.60. Those are my upside levels. My bearish levels are 194, 193, and 190, and then 187.60. Under that, I have 183.30. Let me show you guys how I got these levels. Look, we're just previous retest levels. So this is obviously going to be a key level. This is the level we dipped to before ripping. This is the other key level because it's that previous resistance, and previous resistance becomes support, as you can see right here. It's really crazy. Previous resistance surely becomes support. So that's obviously going to be a big level there. And then 193 just because of this gap. And then obviously the last three candles have been stacked all in a range. So we're going to mark the low and we're going to mark the high. And then as far as that, we're going to mark this wick right here. Why? Because it's wick to this level 3 times. And then right there, 205.60. So in general, if you don't have an if you guys just tip right here, the rule of threes in the stock market. If a stock rejects something more than 3 times, then chances are it's not going to break it. But the highest probability that it's going to break that level is on the 3rd time, the 3rd try. So usually on a bull flag, it's going to break it on the 3rd try. So if you have a stock that rejects something 3 times, then you can almost like for sure guarantee lock that in as a key level. Or obviously, if it's a level that we have a big change of direction in buyers compared to sellers. So like, a big bounce, a big wick, etc. Those are the biggest ones. But yeah, I think that's any other.
I think we hit it all.
Then yeah, guys, make sure you guys tune in. We're gonna do so many more of these. Make sure you're following Strat, following Gus, following me, top left. We're gonna be doing tons of IG lives. Have your notifications on. Check out all our stories. Anything else,
Yeah.
guys?
No, I think that's it.
Let's crush it
think,
tomorrow. Don't go too heavy on Degen Friday.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, don't do something tomorrow that's gonna ruin your weekend, guys.
1000% it was.
Remember, the goal in trading is always to live to see another day. You're not trying to become a millionaire in one day. You want to stay exposed to the markets as long as you can.
Yes, sir. By the way, Mine and Shreds podcast dropping very, very soon.
Yeah, it's actually uploading right now. So I'll have the link in my bio, guys.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right, boys. I'm out. Good night.
All right, guys.
Tomorrow. Peace.
See you guys. All right, guys. Peace out, guys. Peace out, PB.
Good night.
See you guys.